Hey guys, welcome back to Marissa Explains It All. I am here with Sasha today, and we are talking about doing glass signage for our projects. Right, Sasha? Yeah? Yeah. My little crafting buddy over here, she's not helpful at all. She actually gets in the way and gets on everything. However, I wanted to show you guys how to make a glass sign for your parties. So if you look on Pinterest or Instagram, any good party, you'll see that they have these beautiful glass signs with like vinyl lettering on them, and they're so pretty and perfect for parties. Just to announce the shower or announce what the party is, or for weddings. Some people use them as menu boards, or to like label different food dishes, and it's so cute. I love doing them. They're actually really cost effective to do the way that I do. So I'm going to show you guys how I like to do these. It's a really super easy DIY. Sasha's already left me, so let's dive in. So believe it or not, I actually start by finding a piece of art from the thrift store. So I found this baby for a great deal, and I found this for $4.25. And of course you can get good deals if they have like half off days. But they're perfect because they have like a nice large frame and they're very cheap. So first thing you got to do is flip it around, and most large artwork has like a paper backing on it that kind of holds everything in place. And so you'll have to remove that, and then to get to the artwork to actually take out. And so I just leave the brackets where they are. I don't like unscrew those little metal brackets or anything, but I do take my craft scissors and just make a slice right underneath the frame. So it's just like a little empty space there. And I'll just peel away all of the backing. And I do peel it away from the frame too, just because I think it's kind of ugly. It comes away pretty easily. You'll kind of see once you get into it. And then it's easier to take out this cardboard backing. So once the paper's removed, just kind of start popping out that cardboard piece that holds everything in. And this part's a little bit difficult because it's held, I guess, there's some staples in front of it. And so you kind of have to wrench it away from the staples and work at it just a little bit to kind of pry it up. So usually there's like a little cardboard piece and then there's a mat. But once you get it, it pops out. The whole thing just kind of pops out, and then you're left with your frame and then the glass, which is, of course, what we want. We don't really want the cat picture, although I do love cats. So, all right, so now that we're left with our frame and glass, next thing to do is decide to paint the frame or not. If you like the color, you can leave it. Otherwise, you can take the glass out and you can paint the frame in spray paint it, or paint with regular acrylic paint, or you can do another method that I'll talk about in a second here. But to get the glass out, you do have to take up these staples. So you kind of have to pry them back just to get the glass out. And this is my preferred method. Just kind of showing you here, the glass will come out once you pry up those staples. And so that's what I do prefer to do. But if you didn't want to do that and mess with all the staples, you can just tape off the glass and completely, and then paint your frame. So you can do that, but I just find it easier to pry up the staples, which is what I'm doing here, and take the glass completely out rather than spend time in just making sure that my tape is straight and the whole glass is taped off. So again, your preference. So I'm just prying up the staples. They're kind of difficult to do. I do use, scissors for this. It's kind of, they're heavy duty, but then the glass will pop out and you are left with your frame. And I'll set this aside to go ahead and spray paint. And I clean the glass, of course, and this, please be careful. I did cut myself on this. These things are sharp and no joke. I actually had a slice on my hand for a few days. So I'm using a craft paint here for the back, and I do like just whatever comes at Walmart or Michael's, and the cheap little craft brush, paintbrush. I have such a large surface area that I do like to use a full-size paintbrush. So I just use a little paper plate here, and I start painting. And so I'm going to paint one side of the glass, and the inspiration picture that I was pulling from actually had me going in a diagonal, and that's why I'm starting that way. Some people like to do horizontal brush strokes, or just whatever design you like. You could even roll the whole thing with a roller and just do the entire edge to edge. But I liked this look, and this was sort of like a paintbrushed look anyway. And so I started painting, and I purposely wanted to get those brush strokes in. So in some cases you'll see where I started to paint, and then I'm specifically going back just to add in lighter brush strokes to get that brushed effect. And so I'm just kind of speeding up here since it is quite a large picture. I want to say it was like 20 inches by 30 inches. That was like my finished glass size, but just go back over and paint it. And I actually did find that once I was done painting, you know, it actually looked like there were some spots where you could see through when I held it up, so I did do a second coat. So just be aware you might have to do a second coat. And then it was time to spray paint my frame, so I took my favorite brand, Rust-Oleum paint and primer in one, and I'm just using a metallic, like champagne color. This isn't like a super brassy gold. I really don't like to use that super yellow gold, and so I did like this little kind of champagne-y color, and just paint it until it is covered. And then once you're done, I let that to dry, and this, in the meantime, this chalk finish had dried down to like a nice chalky consistency, which I kind of liked. And so I flipped it around, and you can kind of see, you can see through it a little bit. This is prior to me putting the second coat of paint on. But it's now time to do my lettering. So now, making sure that it's completely dry before I put it on my white carpet, I went ahead and started to measure the middle. And so this to me is important to do. I'm just taking a little dry erase marker and making sure that it is in the center. So I want to make sure that my design is centered, and you know, I do that by just measuring and marking the middle. So using a Cricut or a Silhouette, or having bought it from Etsy, you can get your vinyl lettering. I did mine on my Silhouette Cameo 2 or 3. I think I have the Cameo 3. I don't even remember. And then I just started laying out my vinyl designs just to see where the lettering fits the best. And of course you have to kind of do it in a couple little pieces. So I'm laying out all my pieces, and it's backwards here, unfortunately, because I have my camera in like selfie mode. So it does look backwards for you guys, but it is not backwards for me. So don't be alarmed. And so this one's just going to say, "Welcome to Kimberly's baby shower," and then the name of her daughter with a hashtag and the Instagram logo. And so I'm just taking my design, and I peeled it off the backing, making sure that it's centered, or how, you know, wherever I want it. I didn't actually want it completely centered this time. And then using my little tool to burnish it to the glass, and then being sure to carefully peel off the backing, not to kind of ruin any of the vinyl, make sure it doesn't come back up. And of course, like I said, it's backwards, but it's not backwards for me. So I just continued to do this for each of the letters, and I tried to speed this up, but it takes a few minutes. I mean, you're going to have this thing on there, and so you don't want to kind of rush it and have something be crooked or something off center. And so I'm kind of taking my time, and that's why it's taken me a little bit to get through all that. But I just started with the bigger letters, placing those, and then I will put, you know, kind of go back and fill in some of the smaller letters, like the word "to." Kind of went back in and did those. And then the last little bit coming up here is her hashtag with the baby's name. That's coming up in a second. And I actually kind of did too much space. I think I ran it down too far to the edge, and the words weren't really covered by the paint anymore. And I really didn't like that. I wanted you to be able to see the name. It's much better if all the words are covered by the paint. And so I did go back and actually, when I was doing my second coat, I did extend that down further, so it's not like right on the edge of the lettering. So you'll see in the next photo here that it is a little bit further down. And that's it. You flip that thing up, and that is the final product. It is so pretty in person. I absolutely love it. And then it was time for me to put it back in its frame. I didn't show that part, but that's easy. Just put the staples back and you're finished. So that's everything. As you can see, it helps if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette machine, or someone who does lettering for you to be able to apply that. But you can buy them. There are sellers that will sell them on Etsy, and you can kind of buy custom vinyl lettering and apply it yourself if you don't have one of those machines. But if you do, it is really easy and it turns out really pretty. I love just the painted glass effect, you know, painting from behind. And of course you can do any color, so that's the beauty of it. You can do any color, or you can even leave it plain. I've seen some people just leave the glass pane that's just clear, and they'll do like a white vinyl or a gold vinyl or a colored vinyl lettering, and then they'll kind of put like some garland or flowers or something across the top to kind of give it some color. So I've seen that done too, and they're both just beautiful. So if you like this video, please hit thumbs up and subscribe, and I will bring you more DIYs. Bye guys.